I think I'm staying with Spirit, and to me, this first blood for Collapse that we just missed, because we didn't want all the blood and the gore on the screen, trying to keep it family friendly, only solidifies my position, I think.
Can I change? Can I change my choice now that we see the first blood? No, I honestly still think that it could be made to work here for gaming, particularly because I'm just a much bigger fan of the supports that they've got this time around. Ench and Batrider have that scaling potential that a CM and Gyrocopter just don't. And I feel like that was part of the reason that the previous game went the way that they did. Early game didn't go so great, and they just had no answers once it got later on into the piece. I think Quinn's mid lane gonna go pretty well. You're gonna have plenty of magic damage to be able to deal with Yataro's Terror Blade. Sorry, I'm just watching Celery again. He might die another time here.
Yeah, he's going to be taking a lot of damage. The Bundle Strike as well, dropping low. Fairy Fire not enough. They're going to be turning around on the Yatoro. They want to kill their own with the Blood Grenade. Should be able to take him down, but Quinn is taking a ton of damage as well. Everybody on Spirit is low, but they have the numbers advantage still, as Laurel is trying to fight, but in the end he loses it as well. His life is gone. Mira trying to hide in the trees. This hero has a lot of regen, not enough to survive Ace, and we see a bloodbath, a freaking bloodbath. 6 kills before the lanes have even started.
Well, that's a nice start for Underlord to be able to just get a bunch of, free gold at the very start of the game. Already finished up a Bracer, going to be coming to the lane. Pretty much level 2 already. So, nice way to be able to start for him, at least. I don't think Celery minds dying a couple of times this early on into the piece. And we do have to remember that this is an Enchantress going into a Primal Beast, which feels like a pretty great matchup, You're just going to be able to bully him from afar. You've got double melee into this lane as well, which doesn't feel all that great. And if he tries to go for a charge, you just use the enchant and it stops it entirely.
Can someone explain to me why the charge is dispellable? Why is that so? I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be. You should be able to stop it with Flame Break, sure, some kind of a stun, but I don't know why the spell works as well.
It's a feature,
Okay.
You gotta be on your toes at all times. Also, Celery's good enough that he's going to probably have around the time that Pulverize is going to be a factor. I think he's going to enchant a Wild Wing Ripper, and as long as you're 4-staffing Primal Beast, that will stop it from taking place. So even if you are lacking in stuns at the time, it still won't matter all that much.
But what if he has a BKB? Can you do it then?
I'm talking like level 6 on the Primal.
Okay, I was like, when you and me were talking even before the game started, and you mentioned it, and now I'm like, is it really something that works all the time? And here we're seeing 2 supports. Both of them can do quite a lot of damage with their right clicks. Tofu, I'm not sure you're winning this one, and he just gets demolished. It's gonna be 3 of the Batrider illusions now running towards the lane as well. Of course, they're gonna be expiring, but what was he thinking on Tofu?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Shadow Demon isn't this really weak laner anymore. You are able to go for a lot of these trades a whole lot more effectively, so yeah, just underestimating him a little bit, perhaps.
Speaking of trades, there's quite a lot of them on top, and yeah. I wanted to mention this mid lane. The Razor isn't that far ahead of the Monkey King, if at all.
I mean, how many of the kills was Laurel a part of? 3 assists versus... Yeah, I guess Quinn should probably be doing a tiny bit better than he is, but I think he's done well to steal away a lot of that damage coming through, and now he's just going to get a ton of denies going up against Laurel. So, no, I think mid lane's gone fairly okay.
Yep, and it's the more levels on the Razor, the harder it becomes for the Monkey King as they go for the Ratio with the trample as well, trying to finish him off. He's standing his ground, but in the end, that ground under him will shake underneath the might of the Primal Beast. He's still going to be coming forward. No chance to dispel the onslaught, and Celery just isn't doing enough damage to threaten Collapse at all.
Dead.
And he's dead.
Just like that. I think at the time as well, you had Dyrachyo be given over a Tango as well by Celery, basically saying, look, eat this up before we can, before they go for a dive onto you, and he just didn't. So he didn't have a little bit of that extra regen coming back through, which might have given him the extra couple of right clicks that he needed to be able to turn things around.
What's happening with this Monkey King? This hero is doing well in every matchup. In melee matchups, he is crushing it so much that he's zoning people out. Versus the Razor, he is doing okay-ish. I'm hella impressed by Laurel.
Sure. I mean, the hero is kind of busted. But, you know, you've got ways to reliably secure range creeps, like we just saw then with the Boundless Strike. And, I mean, even effectively shoving out lanes is kind of good against the Razor. You don't want to be in a really risky position where he's just able to dive you, back underneath your tower and then use that to deny a lot of your XP. So I like the fact that Larl is, just keeping the lane, basically trying to push it into the tower as many times as possible.
Yatoro helped him a bit as well. He sent the illusion to deny the water rune, so Larl gets one water rune and Yatoro denies the other, so none of it left for the Razor. Actually, quite a nice play that does help your mid laner a lot. Mira finds Duracio's courier, and all of the little things are being done so well. Meanwhile, Celery, his classic rotation to the bottom lane. So hopefully we are going to be looking at that as the Shadow Demon is losing his life, dropping low, still alive. They have the Alpha Wolf, so the damage should be more than enough. Terrorblade standing his ground beneath the tower. This is a bit scary with the Mira TP. Might be enough to dissuade the dive. They have the glyph on Gaming Gladiators. Decide it's not worth it.
So he just decides to enchant up a creep, maybe bring it to the lane, get a little bit of HP up for Duracio, who's actually getting a little bit of the business up on the top side, but he's looking to try and turn it back around. Just no points in the inner beast, but of course it is his innate now, so the beast mode always usable.
Primal Beast versus a Beastmaster. This guy, false advertising, he's being pretty much handled by this Primal Beast so easily. In the top lane there's 1,000 difference, and now Mira, Duracio dies on the top lane, and now Ace might die on the bottom lane as well. With the Metamorphosis being used, that's a nice flame break, not nearly nice enough to save Ace's life. 2 cores on 2 different lanes are dead.
I mean, that's just Monkey King with a Simian Stride, right? A lot of the times when you commit into a lot of these movements across the map as like a spirit hero or a puck or something like that, you need to use a TP to be able to do it. You need to use mana, but Monkey King really doesn't have that same issue, right? He's just got an infused raindrops. It's going to be doubly as effective just to make sure that he's always able to use the Boundless Strike, always able to use the Tree Dance and the Primal Spring, and provides him a bit of protection against the constant harass that Quinn is putting at him with those 3 points in the Plasma Field. So it was really, really quick for Lyle to be able to get up to that top side, get part of that kill, and then get back to the mid lane before he ends up, the tower takes any damage pretty much.
Mira has been stealing Wisdom Runes with the Nyx Assassin for the entirety of the day, and now he finds an Invis Rune just before the Wisdom Rune spawns. He's most likely going to be getting it, while Larl TPs to the bottom lane. He's going to be going for Ace, and well, that does look like a very, very dead Underlord. Yatoro will be getting the kill, and of course, well, Mira will be stealing the Wisdom Rune from what we can see on the map.
What a surprise.
Yeah, I can't believe that just happened at all. He even TP's out to get the other Wisdom Rune as well. We'll be getting him super close to his level 6. We saw in the previous time they played the Nyx, he had Vendetta minute 9. Now he's probably gonna have it at the similar time.
Yep, just soaks the creep wave up here next to Collapse, not wanting to reveal himself on the lane, and then it's going to be a very, very quick rotation, I would imagine, back towards mid. Oh, just short. He is 3 XP short. There we go.
But if you kill Quinn, you've pretty much destroyed everything here. They're bringing in the Centaur onto the mid lane to make sure that Larl dies. Even Collapse will be TPing in. So now you might not even need this Nyx Assassin who's rotating. Either way, the Impale will connect. Goodbye, Quinn. He is the only carry that has been having somewhat of a good game. Celery next on the menu. A couple of hits with the Wukong, with the Jingu Masteries will be more than enough. Collapse with his rotation. He's the one who lands one of the kills there at the end. Dominating streak at this moment. Spirit, 3k gold ahead. This is looking bad for GG.
And, I mean, now that you've been able to get all of this XP on your supports as well, even, like you said, Quinn, the one person that's having a fairly decent time in the lane, once he starts trying to run at you, even with the BKB, but of course prior to it, you're going to have that Demonic Purge as well. So no way for him to actually continue to dive on in, commit into a lot of these team fights.
They're looking grim for GG at the moment. The one game that they had won, Spirit had a 9-0 start. So Gaming Gladiators, it's not like they weren't in this kind of a situation already in this series. Nothing is done just yet.
Once again, nice itemization coming out from Team Spirit. Collapse. He's had the luxury of having this really, really good top side. I think he started 3-0.
No way. Yeah, Quinn is dead. Miposhka even has level 6 already. Demonic Purge, both of your supports are level 6. The other ones not even close. Ace comes through the Fiend's Gate just to give his life away as well. He's the highest net worth hero of Gaming Gladiators, and literally he delivered himself. Here, have my life. I don't want it. Tofu, next on the menu. No Flame Break. Impale, is it ready? It's not, but guess what is? A Boundless Strike from Laurel. Mira wasn't even needed, but he wanted a little bit of experience for himself.
And this is where that extra damage from the TV. Look how quickly this tower is going down. This is just a level 8 Terrorblade, but just because of that Dark Unity innate ability, playing near all of his illusions, they're dealing 25% more damage than they used to. So I really love that Yatra has been able to find a way to make this hero, which a lot of people don't really rate the Terrorblade. I can still see it having, you know, the right sort of situation to be able to make work. Just, please, no pause for Terrorblade. I've actually used a ban on it in my ranked pubs.
That's fair, but I think Terrorblade is in a good spot. A lot of the heroes right now are not being played that maybe could be played. It's just that the Facets swapped everything around and made some heroes completely different innate abilities as well, that players are not sure how to approach them, right? Terrorblade right now with this innate ability, I think the better way to play him is like old No-Tail style. Remember OG when No-Tail was playing carry? That's the type of Terrorblade that I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of need to force your team to come to you, as opposed to go the little ghost push style, where you're just farming the entire game. It's a much faster-paced hero. I mean, the previous game, this series that they won, was only in 37 minutes, and that was when they were a decent way behind as well, to be able to start off the game. So he might be just dead here. He's just walked up on into a Shadow Demon with the Demonic Purge, and Yatoro and Miposhka will say thank you very much, and look at this is just what I'm talking about, right? The pressure's going to continue. Siege creep, TB illusions. His bottom tower's going to go down.
And why would it ever stop? I mean, Duracho, he needs his Aghanim Scepter before he does anything. Okay, maybe they can do something to collapse Roar as well. Lasso not available, but you have the Pit of Malice, so that should be enough lockdown for Duracho to land the kill. A big kill at that, so that's definitely going to help to finish off the Ags in time.
And now you have that Flaming Lasso available as well, so a little bit more control. You know, if the Wukongs ends up being dropped down, you've got a way to just be able to drag him out of it. You've got another way to be able to stop the Pulverize, so a little bit of extra control can never hurt.
For sure, Lasso. I mean, this is the spell why that makes the Batrider what he is. Ace getting into the hands of the Terrorblade. Let's see if his aura will help him to survive. Extra damage of the Terrorblade isn't gonna be enough. Close, but still lives. Mira, he says, no, you are mine. He's gonna be exacting revenge there with the Vendetta. Gets the kill. He's level freaking 8. After that one is Tofu. He goes forward, and very soon he says, nope, I want to run away. And Laurel is not gonna allow it. He gets the lasso. Oh, Boundless Strike just make sure that this onslaught does connect. Quinn thinking about going back into it, and we have been seeing this so many times. Mischief to dodge the plasma field every single time in the game.
It was 11 minutes in the game that Yatoro and Mira got that kill, and now it's 12 minutes, and there's nearly a tier 2 tower dying here on the bottom side of the map. Like, this Terrorblade in the right person's hands is scary as hell, and you can't even fault Ace for playing in that area. I would imagine 12, 11 minutes in, that is the safest place on the map to be. It's just that he's just gotten out of this lane in way too good of a position.
Nowhere is safe, Danog. Nowhere is safe. Spirit are proving it time and time again in this series, in other tournaments as well. This team just dominant for so long. I don't know when this dominance of Spirit ends.
Who knows? I mean, they're going to come up against some of the more of the international flavor, right? Maybe it's the China teams that are going to have their measure.
Boundless Strike on Enchantress. I think China teams, when they see Spirit, they get PTSD, maybe the entire country as well, because these guys have taken TI out of their hands in a spot where everybody thought it was gonna go their way.
We know there's a lot of respect coming through from Spirit for the China teams, Arme and Yatoro, the bromance, of course.
Yep.
Mira wants more.
They need to make something like what they made for Aoi
really nice
in the
wards.
universe. Goodbye, Celery. You were a nice guy. You gave us a nice interview. Don't go through the Fiend's Gate, please, Ace. He's gonna be leaving that one, and then coming from the side. So Spirit might get caught off guard with Wukong's command expiring.
They could kill
Yatoro.
Yatoro.
A big one. Going for a Terror Blade. He doesn't have a Sunder. No skill point to use either. So quite a nice kill. Big one. Maybe this is the way to get back into the game, especially with Dyrachyo coming over. He has the Roar. Let's see if he's gonna be using it. Well, not even needed. Mira will get caught and yep, gets taken out. That was for a second I thought he might actually get the TP out, but nope, not allowed.
Nah, he got tossed up, but mission accomplished, ended up taking the Wisdom Runes, so once again we have a situation where Game and Gladiators have gotten 0 Wisdom Runes at this stage of the game, which means that you really are suffering in terms of levels. You are a level 10 Nyx Assassin, 14 minutes in. That is crazy.
That doesn't happen too often as Tofu. They know that he doesn't have the lasso. Larl going for a Gleipnir from what it seems. For now, staying with the Maelstrom. Actually, it's going to be the Shard that he wants to get. The mobility on this Monkey King, when you have the Shard and the Simian Stride, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah. Just the Simian Stride on its own is pretty dumb, to be honest.
Yeah, I wanted to make it sound not as good. But you know what, Danog? You've mentioned the CK and just how OP he does seem at the moment. Monkey King as well. Is a hero really OP if there's like 10 or 15 more heroes like that?
I think there's like 5 more heroes like that. You know, Tiny, Monkey King, CK, they're the main ones that fall into that category for me. As Tofu might be dying as well. He's doing what a Batrider support should and maybe getting away.
He cancelled the Pulverize himself there with a Flame Break, so that's quite cool. It won't save his life, but a nice play. Really hasn't been having the best of series. Dyrachyo, he takes the Watcher, so now that Watcher can watch him die, as he won't be able to escape this. He gets the Roar for the extra movement speed, but the Monkey Warriors will make sure, especially with the Maelstrom procs, to get the kill.
I mean, if you ever don't believe that the Monkey King is OP, just Google Jingqiu plays pos 4 Monkey King on this patch. Like, it is insane. He says it's exhausting to play because he's literally just Simian striding across the entire map, but it's insane the amount of work that you can do.
I mean, go out in the streets, start smacking people just one from the other. At some point, you're gonna get tired. So I get it, right? It's not easy work to go around the map killing everybody.
They're looking to try and finally find a kill onto someone, and Mira would be a pretty valuable one to actually get at this point as well.
They can't get out of the Pit of Malice. They have the disruptions.
They can't even kill him.
No need to do it at all. Not even close. They just heal him up. Mira goes into the Vendetta, going through all of the trees, giving the vision to his team. Yadra also joining in with the Reflection. They know exactly where GG are. Thinking about engaging without the Wukong's command, it's a little bit tougher.
Nicely done by Celery, though, to prevent the re-engage coming through from Collapse. He ended up getting that enchant off as he was charging up the onslaught, so you know, reducing the potential for another lost fight, but of course they would have rather just got the free kill onto this super tanky Nyx Assassin. Here we got a
so hard to bring down. And that's only 2 points in the Spike Carapace. What happens when he gets even more levels? And it's bound to happen at some point very soon as well. He's level 11. Your mid laner is level 12 on GG. Just goes to show how good of a game Mira has been having.
Oh. Sorry. That'll never get old for me. Just Enchantresses try to be super obnoxious and it's just like, nope, see you later.
I remember the pain when I played the Nyx Assassin a couple of years back. A lot of years back I played this hero, and Enchantresses were the bane of my existence. Not any longer. Mira, however, has been found. He doesn't have the Spike Carapace. Disruption is ready to slow down the Razor himself. Mira isn't moving. He is crawling around, and in the end he does get taken out. Finally, they bring him down.
I might have seen them place up an Observer Ward there as Tofu trying to effectively help cut the lanes a little bit, just force a little bit more pressure onto this bottom side of the map, force Spirit to once again make a defensive move, but I don't think they're all that worried about that. They're very happy to play up on this top side. As how is Lyle able to get away from this?
He didn't cut the trees! You have 2 axes, and you cannot cut the tree. Dyrachyo Yeah, he needs to be practicing. I mean, winter will be coming. It is currently summer, but at some point you need to cut down those logs as Monkey King survives. The gold lead is only 2k, so Gaming Gladiators not only have they stopped the bleeding, but they've turned the game to go a little bit closer towards themselves, a little bit closer to even. Shadow Demon baiting in. Here comes Collapse onto all of them, and the three-man impale. They found him. Nobody else to do the damage with the Pulverize. They'll finally bring down Quinn, as there will be the Monkey King joining in on the fight. Daze does his best to use his tankiness to survive. Celery with the TP out will be allowed to live, but the main guys have already fallen.
They know exactly where Dyrachyo is as well. These wards just placed down. Yatoro, he's going to walk past a couple of ones from Gaming Gladiators as well, so it's not going to be the easiest kill attempt if they were wanting to really dive up on into this, but Miposhka does what he does better than most in the world, and just removing every single little bit of vision that they've got to be able to play around with.
Sometimes it's very annoying playing versus position 5s that are this good as Gaming Gladiators. You might need to run away. So let's start talking a little bit about later portions of the game, because we are, getting deeper into that mid game. The Terrorblade versus what GG have. This is a weird lineup that Gaming Gladiators are rocking. Is it something that can actually match the Terrorblade if it does come down to 45 minute game?
I don't think that GG have what it takes to be able to take it really late against the Terrorblade. One, because he's still got plenty of room to grow. Two, because I feel like, let's say you pop the Lasso, the Roar, and hell, someone is able to get into a Scythe of Vice as well, because you're going to need all of this lockdown to be able to A, burst through him, and B, prevent him from getting the Sunder off. You've still got the Disruption to be able to get the save from the backlines, right? You've still got Glimmer Cape. You've still got auras being built up by Collapse. That's the main issue for mine. You can't just walk up into your Toro. It's another one of these games where you need to find Miposhka. It becomes a new mini-game for Gaming Gladiators where you need to be a little unorthodox. You need to find ways to wrap around and take out this Shadow Demon to start things off.
But you don't really have heroes for that. I guess Batrider can find him, but how do the rest follow? That's the real question. Gaming Gladiators lineup are good at running at you, not really wrapping around you, but they're also pretty good at taking Grosh. However, Spirits seem to be aware.
Yeah, but they're not under a smoke, so it'll be a little slower that they're able to get there, just leaving one Skeleton Warrior at the top of this Twin Gate. It's Tofu.
Oh no, Tofu is gone. He's gonna get destroyed. Dagon is available as well. Mira showing it off in style. Roche is dropping low, however, so they might be able to get it off. There is a Fiend's Gate being used, and there's the Aegis for Dyrachyo. He's already super tanky. Gets the blink away. If you can disengage, it's gonna be huge.
Big charge by Collapse.
Monkey King. There's the Boundless Strike, and Collapse from the side pushes them all towards those stairs, falling down the stairs. It is gonna hurt. However, Collapse up there. He's gonna get saved. The Impale as well. What's happening? Why are they hitting this spell so perfectly? Pero Malice, however, gonna be keeping Spirit in place, but they go through it, and now it's time for the real chase. Dyrachyo, he does blink forward. That's going to be a lot of trouble for Quinn as well, who is trying to juke around the trees, does as much damage as possible, still somehow alive. Laurel needs one more hit with the Jingu stacks. Actually, it's going to be two, but of course, Mira from downtown gets the Mind Flare to get the kill. Of course, Dyrachyo surrounded by enemy heroes. He's going to be taken down easily, and Team Spirit, they might have lost the Roche, but they won a huge fight and are now just one step away, literally one step away from winning the entire tournament.
Yeah, and they're probably just going to yoink this Wisdom Rune, go start to force out a tier 3 glyph. If they use that, you got a Tormentor right there to be able to claim. Hell, they're probably just going to be able to take this down quickly enough that they're going to be able to get both. Just prepare up, get another free Aghanim shard, and I mean, it's a bit of a mistake for sure coming through from Gaming Gladiators, right? You're going up against a Nyx Assassin, and you don't have a Sentry Ward up when you're taking Roshan. You know, it was just walking down on the bottom side of that team fight meant that, yeah, you just got a very, very quick and easy pick off onto Tofu's Batrider.
Sometimes even in these top games, basic mistakes can happen. And of course, losing the Batrider at the start of the fight was a problem. And look at Mira. He's just doing whatever the hell he wants. They're gonna try to find him, and with the dust, finally, they will punish this. Like, this is cocky behavior, really, from Mira, and at least he gets taken out.
Sure. And for Dyrachyo, that's huge as well, right? Now, they're going to go for a smoke here. You don't have the Roar, though, so I'm just wondering who you actually think you're going to be able to kill at this stage. I mean, Underlord is pretty damn tanky. He's got the Greaves, he's got Pipe, he's got 3 Braces, 2.5k HP. I think they might even be satisfied with Miposhka at this stage. They just want something. They want to be able to take back some of this map control. Lyle.
Get one kill and you snowball it. That's how you come back into these kind of games. Tofu is hunting.
Oh, they found him.
He will find the Monkey King up onto the high ground with the ball strike. Oh, Miposhka! He made a mistake. Oh no, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, he's still gonna be getting out. Dyrachyo, he has made a mistake, guys. He came onto the high ground, and this is not Star Wars, not how it works. Haste will be next on the menu, demolished by the Terrorblade. We have seen it so many times today. The Terrorblade just annihilates heroes. Larl is just keeping Quinn in place. Gleipnir after the Manta usage. They do have the Onslaught. Impale as well, not even needed. Yatoro comes over to finish off Quinn, and that's gonna be a triple kill for him.
Just having a look at a few more of these items, right? Like, Celery is still trying to get into a 4-staff. Again, it is another one of those good items to be able to stop that that Pulverize. Still doesn't have a BKB quite yet on Collapse, but it's getting to the point where it's like, well, is that going to be enough? They're just way too farmed right now on Team Spirit to be able to do it. And even just with some of this healing coming through from the Beastmaster, a little bit of an unorthodox item purchase, the Skadi on the Terrorblade, right? Very few people are buying that these days, but still feels real good at preventing the Beastmaster from just standing in the middle of these team fights and soaking up a ton of that damage.
Level 3 Dagon on the Nyx Assassin. You know what? This guy kills the Bat solo, probably kills the Enchantress solo as well. Any core on the side of GG loses at least half of their HP if Mira uses all of his spells perfectly. This is becoming a problem, especially when you're 16k gold behind, now Rax behind as well. You don't have money for a billion sentries. You don't have money for a gem. It's just not an investment you can go for.
And that's why it kind of feels like they have to take a fight around their high ground, right? You need to... I don't think they should be tapping out early, right? It's the last game, potentially. If they lose this one, you do have a Bat Rider who can find a drag back inside the base. You do have answers once they're, you know, inside your base. You have the potential to be able to pick someone off. They just need to find someone out of position, and it just hasn't happened yet.
Spirit have been doing an amazing job. If they lose someone, if it's someone that's out of position, it's Mira very deep on the enemy side of the map, and he's pretty much back when Gaming Gladiators cross the river. Speaking of crossing the river, Spirit have been doing it for the entirety of the game, and they found Celery, so the captain of GG will go down.
Should be alive, though, if they were wanting to commit for this high ground push, and he was able to finish up that 4-staff, so... Again, just a little bit more control that they need. Right now, they're just delaying so that Quinn can even get into a BKB, so that he's not worried about just getting blown up by the Nyx. Still, though, speaking of Nyx, he's actually looking for a bit of a hunt here onto Mira, and they get the stuns. Goodbye.
Yep, got him. Quinn gets taken out, and of course, if Larl is there to help Mira, actually just going in with 2 heroes being dead, Larl can do whatever the hell he wants, goes into the enemy base. While all of this push in the mid lane was happening, it was the outer road that was pushing in the top lane, so that's going to be the last outer tower. Once Spirit enter your base, they can take away Megas and of course the game.
No buyback on Quinn. He wouldn't even want to use it at this stage. He just needs that BKB so desperately. But I don't think you can force this fight. You gotta wait. You gotta try and have a full 5-on-5. Look, Ace is just dying.
There used to be an Underlord there that's a tanky hero, but look at where Larl is. They'll get the roar onto the Terrorblade. They have to kill him. Not enough damage. Not even close. Once they use the Thunder, he might need to use it on some of his teammates. No, he's gonna take Celery's soul, literally, then murder him right after it. And Gaming Gladiators, this is not an early GG. There is no more chance to stop Team Spirit from taking the entire championship.
Congratulations to Team Spirit. I mean, this was a very, very, very clean showing. I thought, you know, the mid lane, Larl did a little better than expected. Quinn never really was able to get the ball rolling. Once again, the Shadow Demon former Poshka is just able to enable so